choose to. You didn't go looking for it. It just found you, in a store, in a film, in your own head. And you didn't even question why. These are the 10 most played songs of the 1960s. Not the 10 most famous, not the 10 most awarded, the 10 songs that never left. Together they have been played on radio over 50 million times. One of them was written by a man who was completely asleep. One was recorded in a single dressing room in 20 minutes. And number one, Pause, is a song you have heard 1,000 times and never once knew this story. Number 10, Born to be Wild, Steppenwolf, 1968. Already know this feeling. Windows down, engine loud, road ahead with no destination and no desire to turn back. And this song comes on, not by accident, because no other song has ever captured that specific feeling the way this one does. Born to be Wild was released in 1968 by Steppenwolf, led by John Kay, a man born in wartime Berlin who survived World War II as a child and immigrated to North America with nothing. When he sang about getting his motor running and heading out on the highway, he was not performing rebellion. He had lived enough of the real thing to mean every single word. The song was written by Mars Bonfire, the older brother of Steppenwolf's own drummer, in under an hour, a throwaway, handed to the without ceremony. He had no idea he was handing them the defining anthem of a generation. In 1969, director Dennis Hopper needed music for the opening sequence of Easy Rider. He put on Born to be Wild and never looked at anything else. That single placement permanently changed the relationship between rock music and Hollywood cinema. Every film you have ever watched with a powerful song driving its opening owes something to that decision. But here is the detail that stops people cold. The lyric Heavy Metal Thunder, written in under an hour, in the second verse, is the first documented use of the phrase heavy metal in a rock song. Black Sabbath, Led Zeppelin, Metallica, every band that ever carried that label traces the name of their entire genre back to one line written by a drummer's older brother in 1968. Born to be Wild peaked at number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100 in the summer of 1968 and has appeared in over 40 major films since. Some songs soundtrack a moment. This one became the permanent sound of Escape itself. That was where the decade opened. The next song was born in a hotel room, in the middle of the night, by a man who was completely asleep when he created it.
Before we get back to the music, take 1 second to hit that subscribe button. Most people who watch these videos aren't subscribed yet, and that means a lot of fans enjoying the music without being part of the community. If you love classic rock, legendary guitar riffs, and the songs that shaped generations, this channel was made for you. Every video takes time, research, and passion to bring these memories back to life. So if the music means something to you, subscribe and help keep rock alive right here on this channel. Now let's get back to the music.
Number 9, I Can't Get No Satisfaction, the Rolling Stones, 1965. May 1965, Clearwater, Florida. The Stones play a show that collapses into chaos. Crowd clashes with police. 4 songs played before authorities shut the night down. They returned to the Jack Tar Harrison Hotel. Keith Richards goes to sleep. Sometime before dawn, he wakes up, grabs the tape recorder on the nightstand, records a riff, falls straight back to sleep. Morning comes, he hits play. 30 seconds of the most recognizable guitar hook in the history of recorded music, followed by 45 minutes of himself snoring. He had zero memory of recording it. In his 2010 memoir Life, Richards wrote plainly, "I had no idea I'd written it." 3 days later, the band records the first proper version at RCA Studios in Hollywood. Richards plugs in a Gibson fuzz box originally imagined as horns, and that guitar takes on the raw, distorted growl nobody has replicated since. But I tried. I can't get no. Richards still did not want to release it. Jagger recalled years later, "He really didn't think it was single material, and we all said, 'You're off your head.'" 4 weeks later, Satisfaction dropped. 4 consecutive weeks at #1 in America. BMI calculated that in its first 32 years, the song accumulated approximately 40 years of continuous airplay worldwide. Not 40 years of fame, 40 years of literally never stopping. The greatest riff in rock history, recorded in sleep, forgotten by morning, almost never released. From a riff born in sleep, we move to a song born in rage, written on a train, on a birthday, by a 20-year-old who had already run out of patience with the entire world. Number 8, My Generation, The Who, 1965. Why don't you all fade away? May 19th, 1965. Pete Townshend on a train from London to Southampton, his 20th birthday. Furious. The Queen Mother had reportedly ordered his car, a black Packard hearse parked near Buckingham Palace, towed because she found it offensive. Trying to cause a big sensation. The rage that came from that moment produced 3 minutes and 32 seconds that a generation adopted as its anthem. But what made this song immortal was not the riff, not even I Hope I Die Before I Get Old. It was an accident in a recording booth that nobody planned. People try to put us to down. Talking about my generation. After 2 clean takes, manager Kit Lambert walked up to Roger Daltrey and said one word, "Stutter." Daltrey looked at him. Lambert said, "Make it sound like a British kid on speed." Daltrey's own recollection, word for word, "Oh, like I am." One offhand instruction. 30 seconds of spontaneous decision-making. One of the most iconic vocal performances in rock history, created by complete accident. The BBC banned it immediately, claiming it was offensive to people who stutter. Pirate radio stations ignored the ban entirely. Over 300, 0 copies sold before the BBC reversed their decision. By then, the song had already escaped. Don't try and dig what we all say. Rolling Stone ranked My Generation number 11 on their 500 greatest songs of all time. The first genuine proto-punk record ever made. The Sex Pistols, The Clash, The Ramones. Every punk band owes their DNA partly to a 20-year-old's birthday fury on a train. Still ahead, a song a major label refused to release until someone snuck it into a nightclub and let the crowd decide. And the #1 song on this list is still the most streamed record of the entire 1960s in 2025. Stay Here. Number 7, Purple Haze, Jimi Hendrix, 1967. Number 6, Light My Fire, The Doors, 1967. 1966, Morrison tells the band they need original material. He looks at Robbie Krieger, 20 years old, still living with his parents in Pacific Palisades, and says, write something universal, something that lasts. Krieger goes home, sits in his childhood bedroom, thinks about the 4 classical elements, chooses fire. Light My Fire was the first song Robbie Krieger ever wrote in his life. He brings a folk draft back to the band. Morrison adds the second verse, Our love become a funeral pyre. And our love become a funeral pyre. Turning a love song into something dangerous. Manzarek builds the organ intro. Densmore constructs the rhythm. What started in a teenager's bedroom became a defining recording of the decade. The song was too long for radio. Elektra demanded a single edit. Producer Paul Rothchild cut nearly 4 minutes. China, we can only lose, and our love become... The band was furious, except Morrison. He listened and said, Imagine a kid in Minneapolis hearing even this version for the first time. It will blow his mind. July 1967, #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 for 3 weeks. The first #1 in Elektra Records' entire history. The first song Robbie Krieger ever wrote launched the Doors into mythology. We couldn't get much higher. Number 5, Like a Rolling Stone, Bob Dylan, 1965. June 1965. Dylan returns from a punishing England tour, exhausted, done with being told what kind of artist to be. He described the writing process as vomiting, something he could no longer keep down. Page after page of raw writing. Buried inside those pages was a 6-minute song that permanently changed what popular music was allowed to be. Columbia Records refused to release it. 6 minutes was not a single. Then coordinator Sean Considine slipped a studio acetate to a DJ at Manhattan nightclub without permission. The crowd lost their minds. 2 major radio DJs were in that room. They called Columbia the next morning demanding copies. The label had no choice. Like a Rolling Stone peaked at #2 in September 1965, blocked only by the Beatles' Help. Rolling Stone magazine later ranked it the greatest song of all time on their 500 greatest songs list. Newport Folk Festival. Dylan walks out with an electric band. The purest boo, he does not stop. The following year in Manchester, someone screams, Judas! Dylan stares into the darkness. I don't believe you, you're a liar. Turns to his band. Play it fucking loud. 60 years later, still here. Number 4, Yesterday, The Beatles, 1965. She wouldn't say. May 1965. McCartney wakes up with a complete melody already playing in his head, rolls out of bed, finds the chords on the piano before he is fully conscious. He was so convinced he had unconsciously stolen it that he spent months asking every musician he knew, have you heard this before? George Martin, a walking encyclopedia of popular music, listened and told him clearly, it is yours. Working title, Scrambled Eggs, placeholder lyric, Scrambled eggs, oh how I love your legs. It sat like that for months. None of the other Beatles played on the recording. Just McCartney and a string quartet, the first de facto solo Beatle record. It created lasting tension. For yesterday. Lennon carried the wound for over a decade. In How Do You Sleep, he aimed directly at his former partner. The only song you'd done was Yesterday. covered more than 3,000 times, the most covered song in recorded history.
Seems so far away. Now it looks
Played on American radio over 8 million times, McCartney heard it in a dream, feared he stole it, and accidentally wrote the most recorded piece of music in human history.
love was such an easy game to
Number 3. Hey Jude, The Beatles, 1968.
Hey Jude, don't make
1968. Lennon is leaving Cynthia for Yoko Ono. Their 5-year-old son, Julian, is caught in the middle of a very public collapse. McCartney drives to visit them. On that drive, he starts building a song. Originally Hey Jules, Jules for Julian. A quiet message of comfort for a small boy whose world was being taken apart. Julian did not find out until he was a teenager. In 1987, he ran into McCartney in a New York hotel. He told Paul he always felt closer to him than to his own father. John heard it differently. I always heard it as a song to me, he told David Sheff. He believed McCartney was telling him subconsciously, go ahead, leave, let Yoko in. McCartney wanted to cut. The movement you need is on your shoulder. Lennon refused. That is the best line in the whole song. It stayed. First release on Apple Records. Recorded with a 36-piece orchestra, 7 minutes 11 seconds, 5 million copies in 6 months. Number 1 in 12 countries. The Na 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 outro has been sung simultaneously by more human beings than almost any other piece of music ever written. Number 2, Good Vibrations, The Beach Boys, 1966. Most 1966 singles were recorded in hours. Brian Wilson spent 6 months, 17 recording sessions, 4 Hollywood studios, 30-plus session musicians, 90 hours of tape. Final cost, $50,000, nearly $500,000 in today's money. The most expensive single ever recorded at that point in history. Wilson was building what the Beatles' publicist, Derek Taylor, called a pocket symphony. The production used the electro-theremin played without physical contact, giving the track its weightless, futuristic quality that still sounds ahead of its time today.
I'm picking up good vibrations. She's giving me
Wilson was deteriorating mentally through much of the process. Paranoid, isolated, pushing everyone past their limits. What came out the other side sounded like nothing that had existed before it.
excitations. I'm picking up good vibrations.
October 1966. Nearly 100,000 copies sold per day in its first week. Number 1 in America, the UK, and Australia simultaneously. The most experimental and expensive single of the decade became one of its greatest commercial hits. The Beatles heard it and went straight back into the studio. Good Vibrations is a documented reason Sgt. Pepper's exists.
I don't know where, but she sends me there.
Number 1, Fortunate Son, Creedence Clearwater Revival, 1969.
It ain't me. It ain't me. I ain't no
2 minutes and 18 seconds. No solo, no orchestration, no excess. Recorded fast. Released fast. In 2025, 56 years later, Fortunate Son is the most streamed song of the entire 1960s in the United States.
made to wave the flag. Ooh, the red, white, and blue.
Not the most celebrated, the most played, right now, today. Fogerty wrote it in 1969 watching Julie Nixon, the president's daughter, publicly date David Eisenhower, grandson of a former president, while working-class kids came home from Vietnam in body bags. Fogerty had been drafted himself in 1967. Never deployed, stationed at Fort Knox, but he saw exactly what the war was taking from people who looked like him.
It ain't me, it ain't me, I ain't no fortunate.
And he watched the people who sent them there protect their own children from every consequence. He wrote the entire song in one sitting, his own words from his memoir. The song speaks more to the unfairness of class than war itself. It's the old saying about rich men making war and poor men having to fight them. November 16, 1969. Creedence performs Fortunate Son on The Ed Sullivan Show. The producers had no idea it was a protest song. It aired into millions of American living rooms while the war consumed the country outside their windows. Grammy Hall of Fame, 2014. Still closing stadium sets. Still the first choice for any director who needs one song to say something permanently true about who holds power and who pays for it. Some songs are written for their moment. Fortunate Son was written for every moment after it. That is why it never left. 10 songs, 1 decade, a detonation still echoing through everything you hear today. These were not manufactured, they were moments when exhausted, furious, heartbroken human beings reached for something true and found it. And once something that true is recorded, it stops belonging to the artist. It belongs to everyone who has ever needed it. You have heard these songs 1,000 times. Now you know what was behind them. Which one hits different now? Drop it in the comments. I read everyone. And if you want the real stories, the ones they leave out of the documentaries, you already know where to find them.